Alright, hello everyone. Here we have our match. It's gonna be Tomato Chairnament versus peepoHappy. I guess I could show the teams real quick before they do the warm-ups. So yeah, you can see all of the players around here. I'm not gonna read all of them. I mean, you'll get to see plenty of them in the next hour or so. So yeah, we'll just get into the CS 6.3 warm-up. A little bit interesting. So we're gonna play one warm-up and then we'll get into the actual match proper. But yeah, to speak about both of these teams in general, both of them have had a very, very long road to get to this point. Both of them actually lost their first match in winners, and they had to fight through all the way through losers bracket to make it up to this fourth place match. So definitely have proven their worth so far, but only one of them can advance, obviously. And actually, in the case of Tomato Chairnament, it looked like they were eliminated from the entire tournament, but then one of the teams they lost against got DQ'd for, or not really DQ'd, but basically DQ'd for certain reasons. A certain British player may have gotten banned from tournaments, but we will not speak more of that. In time-honored Osu tradition, warm-ups are gonna take like 5 minutes to start. It's gonna take longer than the actual warm-up. Okay, I complained about it, so they started. Let's go. But damn, we got some goddamn precision players in here taking hard rock on CS 6.3 map. Okay, Stream Client is not being very kind right now in terms of having this first client load, but at least I have some time to fix this before the actual match starts. There we go. There. To speak of some of the players, Silent Suzuka, it's not super surprising that they would want to play Hard Rock on a warm-up, because he is a pretty well-renowned Hard Rock specialist. I mean, it's not maybe showing too much right now, because this is a little bit too unhinged, but yeah. iFaker's also pretty good at Hard Rock, and like DT mechanics. And yeah. Probably one of the most standout players in terms of the whole match is gonna be Anthony W, because if you saw the last match he played on this pool against the Lesbury team named Quay, he solo carried a lot of maps. He FC'd a lot of maps, especially even on skills that he's not really expected to be good at. He put up really good scores, so that'll be very scary for Tomato Chairnament. Because yeah, Anthony W basically can play anything except like very high skill cap tapping, and there's only like 1 or 2 of those maps in this pool, so he really has a lot of opportunity to put in the work. Actually, I didn't even notice, but wait, that's... Okay, that play on this warm-up was a little bit disgusting up until that point. But okay, he won't be FCing this. Jesus Christ, what are these patterns? Alright, and there we have it. And that'll be the entire warm-up. So finally now we can get into the... Well, first the roles, of course, but then the bans, and then the actual match. But yep, here we can see our map pool, and honestly I'm not entirely sure what both teams will want to ban right off the top of my head, because basically you don't get this far in the tournament without being a decently well-rounded team. So I don't think either team has like maps that they like absolutely can't play. I guess I could refer to the bans from the previous matches. peepoHappy previously has banned DT2 and FreeMod 1. And Tomato Chairnament have previously banned Hidden 2 and FreeMod 2. So Tomato Chairnament not really liking the gimmick, and peepoHappy, those are kind of weird bans. I don't know how to describe them, but it could be like opponent specific thing, so they might change up the strategy considering they're now playing against a different team on both sides. I will say I think peepoHappy are probably a bit better on certain speed maps. So those could be possible bans for Tomato Chairnament. For example, if you looked at the previous scores, peepoHappy does a lot better on this DT3 actually than Tomato Chairnament by a really big margin. So that could be a possible ban for Tomato Chairnament, of course. Tatse with the questionable role. Okay, we'll not comment more on that. But yeah, just a few, like the previous pools in this tournament, it's not entirely meta pooling. There's some like kind of curveball stuff that you wouldn't really expect. For example, on Nomads, Nomad 5 and 6 are kind of weird picks. Like neither of them are Loyar, but they're like kind of weird skill sets. Okay, so it looks like Tomato Chairnament really don't want to deal with Gimmick. So they will be banning first the Hidden 2. Something that peepoHappy have pretty good players for, like Anthony W, and also Phelan. So very, I think it's a decently well-educated ban. peepoHappy gonna ban Hard Rock too. Another one that's not too much of a curveball, because Tomato Chairnament got like 2 FCs on this yesterday, or 2 near FCs at least. So gonna be respecting that. Yeah, both teams have a pretty decent amount of info on each other because of their... Both of them have already played one match on this pools, so they do have that intel available on certain maps of knowing what the other team will score approximately. But yeah, Tomato Chairnament really not liking the gimmick maps in this pool. They're actually going to leave up free mod 2, which peepoHappy will probably pick at some point. And yeah, we'll just wait for peepoHappy's ban. They could ban like DT1. I could see that being a thing. Tomato Chairnament's aim is pretty good, I think. Especially this DT1, apparently Anthony doesn't play. And like, any map Anthony doesn't play is probably something they would rather not deal with. But they also last time banned DT2 and free mod 1. Maybe those are maps they don't really like. Could ban those as well. But it's a very different matchup, so I don't know if that would be advisable. We'll just see what they decide on. The timer is just about... Okay, there we go. That's the DT1 ban. Very understandable. Tomato Chairnament also did decently on that as well. Keyz almost FC'd. So... yeah, these bans are nothing too out of the ordinary. But in terms of what's still left up in the pool, there's a lot of aim. There's a lot of speed. No speed being banned at all. And there's also a lot of alt maps still left up. So that's the battlegrounds these two teams are choosing to fight on. Yeah, we'll just await peepoHappy's pick here. It looks like they're taking their very sweet time with making these decisions. So it might be a hot second. But no, it will be right away free mod 4. Alright. Yes, this is... if you play Osu, you know this map. I don't need to describe it for you. It is an iconic one. Z Freedom Dive. So yeah, I mean, famously this map requiring a lot of tapping. Need to be able to stream 222 BPM very effectively. But in addition to the tapping requirement, this one is also... it's a very old map, so as is natural with old maps, it's mapped pretty awkwardly. Has some jumps that can really screw up like the pure speed players. And it's also AR9, which makes it a kind of a nasty task to deal with on Hidden. Yeah, peepoHappy did pretty solidly on this before. Player especially you want to look out for is Daniel, who has kind of the perfect skill set for this sort of map, where he's like half speed player, half gimmick player, and that's really what you need here. So Daniel will be trying to doing some carrying once again on the Hidden. Yeah, pretty hard rock favored map, I'd say. I would really expect to see a lot of hard rock. Like, I think everyone except Daniel on peepoHappy will go hard rock. And I would imagine same goes for Tomato Chairnament, except probably it will be Keyz not taking Hidden. And yeah, I can really see how this pick works pretty effectively in terms of the rosters for peepoHappy. Because on Tomato Chairnament, they have some speed competent players, but I wouldn't really call them speed specialists except for like Mackie Brody. So yeah, pick that worked out really well for peepoHappy last time around, and they're gonna be looking to make the same thing happen again. Actually, you give me Keyz for not taking the hard rack and tall ducks on a hit-in. A little bit surprising to me. That decision not seeming to work out so well so far with Keyz for not fighting the first break here. Yeah, besides that single break, everyone's still holding strong. I mean, still have yet to get into the hardcore speed stamina. So not much decided yet. Ooh, Nijaki gonna fight a break. First one that's like substantially to the map. Everyone hit. Oh, Makibroni didn't hit the jumps. But actually it was Mihari with the Bancho miss there, so it's actually gonna be Tomato Chairnament. Where is the score bar? Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're back. So, from what I can see, I believe it's 1 SCT2 right now on the hidden-s. Kind of surprising to me. Because hidden is kind of not very fun on this, but yeah, actually Tomato Chairnament have a pretty good combo advantage here, courtesy of Q-Stronot and Daldex here. Into this next Ki is gonna be iFigure is gonna be the one to find a break here. Struggling a little bit on this pick, but he's still got some time to try to recover here. But only if Tomato Chairnament really gives him the chance, because map is definitely in their hands right now. With Tall Dice and Keyz not having the really huge combos, but to be fair to peepoHappy, they can very easily strike back if those combos are gonna be gone, because Daniel's still holding FC. He got a very good score on this last time, and looking to be trying to put up the same performance again. Yeah, still a really tense situation. Only 80k lead for Tomato Chairnament. Can be overturned very rapidly. Especially going into this very dicey solo part. This is where the speed stamina requirement gets the highest. Makibroni gonna get caught off guard very early into this. Yeah. Oh, it's all nice with the chain miss. That's really bad for Tomato Chairnament. Though they still have Q-Stronot for now, but it's just gonna make it that much harder for them to play defense. And now they have nothing. And Daniel might be ready to solo the lobby here if he can get through the rest of the solo. But look at that shake. Dude, it looks so unhealthy, but he's still hitting everything. Can he hit this last stream? Can he hit it? Oh, I have no idea how he plays with this sort of shake, dude. But he is performing. He's still got it. 99.3%. And it looks like he might be ready to just carry this point for his team here. Oh, oh no, that's so bad for peepoHappy because Mihari, Keyz still got the combo. And that bar is going to turn red very shortly, and there it is. Daniel kind of letting the nerves get to him, and it seems kind of going to pay for it here, it looks like. But Mihari finding the shakes of his own, but what can peepoHappy do? They only have iFigures and the 600 combo. Meanwhile, the rest of Tomato Chairnament having pretty decent recovery, looking very good for them at the moment. Yeah, oh wait, the chain misses. Wait. Okay, it wasn't enough. It was not enough. It will be Tomato Chairnament actually clutching out a very early breakpoint. Yeah, still gonna have to give a shout out to Daniel for the almost 800k here on the hidden. He had very good AC as well. Probably would have been 99 if he didn't get the misses. But yeah, a lot of shake, a lot of nerves out of a lot of these players. But hopefully the players can start to deal with it. It's just the first map jitters. You all know the feeling. Yeah, what I would kind of expect from Tomato Chairnament is some sort of aim pick, because I think they have a very good aim roster. Talducks, Qstronaut, and KSN, they're like pretty well-rounded players, but if there's one thing that I'd say all of them are good at, it would be just like raw jump aim. So that could be a good angle. I mean, they did just win speed, but it was by a very narrow margin, so I don't really want to see like a speed pick out of them. Yeah, and then also peepoHappy, like, I don't want to say they struggled on the aim picks on their previous match, but let's just say they didn't win many of them. So, I don't know, I think it'd be a good idea, but we'll see if Tomato Chairnament's strategists agree. It seems they do. They're gonna be going for a Hard Rock 1. So yeah, this Hard Rock 1, another pretty well-known map. Has more than like 1,000 favorites. It has to be this way, Hard Rock. A very standard Hard Rock 1. A lot of aim, of course, but also has some bursts that are, with Hard Rock, decently spaced out. Yeah, the three I was discussing earlier in the lobby: KSN, Talducks, Qstronaut. Silent Suzuka gonna round out the roster. Makes a lot of sense. He's very good at the Hard Rock game. Meanwhile, peepoHappy getting their core in as well. Anthony, Tatse, I would imagine Phelan soon. And also iFakers, who did, I guess had a bit of a rough time on the previous Hard Rock, but very different kind of map here. Could have a very different kind of result. Alright. I've been told there's some audio delay issues. I will attempt to fix those after this map, but in the meantime, we have got us some Hard Rock aim gaming right now. And it looks like Tomato Chairnaments are the ones doing the gaming right now in terms of combo. Actually, no, never mind. Not with KSN missing there. peepoHappy do have a not insignificant score lead, but in terms of combo, not very far ahead. Didn't realize actually they. Oh my god! Tomato Chairnament had like a complete meltdown on that burst. Okay, well, hate to call it too early, but that's really bad for them. And iFakers is gonna cause so much damage here with the FC still. iFakers will find the miss, so it is going to put a stop to the bleeding for the most part, but Tase is now the biggest combo in the lobby, so it's still on peepoHappy's side. Oh, Keyz breaks, but also traded by Tall Ducks. And at this late stage, that's really not a trade that Tomato Chairnament can afford to take here. I mean, they're inching the score lead back, but they're really going to need more misses out of peepoHappy here. One from Anthony W would be really great for them, but instead it's going to be found out of Bihari. And yeah, score lead's not even going towards them anymore, especially with the Shinkiro break. So, big jumps to end things off, few more bursts, but things are all but settled. Anthony finds a break to the end, but still puts up more than enough score. And so yeah, both teams having their first picks backfire on them. It's gonna leave things in the balance here, 1-1. Okay. I hope that fixed the audio delay issue. If it didn't, then unlucky. Yeah, here we've got this No But 4, Merdvetsky, some Russian rap. Very challenging map. I think it's probably one of the lowest average scoring maps in the pool, and for good reason. This map is pretty devious. It needs a lot of aim control for the bursts, but also you need a lot of raw aim to be able to hit the slider jumps. The whole map is just laid out in a very uncomfortable to play way, and that does reflect in the scores for most people. But I am very surprised. I am very surprised to not see Phelan in actually for peepoHappy. Huh, interesting. Okay, well, sounds like the issue is not fixed. I'll try to fix it before the next match, but sorry, we'll have to deal with it for now. Yeah, pretty good pick for peepoHappy. They do have a lot of tech specialists, especially looking at Anthony and Tatse. Ijaki and iFakers kind of less their thing, but gonna do what they can to try to fill here. Yeah, a lot of people having a lot of issues so far. The only ones holding on to anything substantial right now would be Ork and Anthony W. Anthony and Shinkiro are kind of going at it still. I mean, Orke found the break a little bit earlier. But, oh, and that's Shinkiro down, and things are looking very dangerous for Tomato Chairnament. Because, oh, never mind. I was about to say, Anthony W is very dangerous on a pick like this, but he does find the full chain miss on a burst. So that'll limit the damage. But already at 80k score lead roughly for peepoHappy. And actually now it's Hatse the one that's gonna pick up the mantle here with a 700 combo, actually surpassing what Anthony W had even. Not getting caught off guard by any of these really fast reverse sliders. Okay, he's gonna get caught off guard by like a 2-star pattern instead, but yeah, already did a lot of work because this is not the kind of map that anyone's gonna easily hold a big combo to try to match that. And really that's what's happening on Tomato Chairnament side right now, not having any combos above even like 50 right now. So yeah, looking to be a very solid pick for peepoHappy. Nothing short of like an absolute catastrophe can change this and now. Yeah, you can see a very like clear distinction between the, I guess, tech specialists and not from peepoHappy, but their tech players are gonna get them through this point here. It's very good stuff. The first pick that was actually secured by the team that picked it. So good. Let's get peepoHappy some good momentum here. Okay. The picks were a little bit wrong on the client, but okay, it's fixed now. Yeah, it is Tomato Chairnament's pick right now. And I mean, they could try to pick more raw aim. It didn't really work out last time, but different map, different mod could change things. Maybe like a free mod. What? Even though peepoHappy banned it last match, I don't know how good of a pick it is for Tomato Chairnament. They will be going for no mod 2 instead. Alright. So yeah, this is basically as normal of a no mod 2 as you could get. Very well known. Maybe that's putting it a bit too kindly. Rather overused no mod 2. Basically every tournament player, every stream player has played this map before. I think Tomato Chairnament are probably relying a lot on Soldex here. Actually, Macabroni is pretty... Actually, never mind. They have a pretty good roster for this. But I just looked at Taldex as kind of the guy to begin with. Because he plays many things, but like no mod 1, no mod 2 stuff, he's very, very consistent at. I mean, yeah, meanwhile, peepoHappy, I would also shout out as a pretty good tapping main, streams main. Meanwhile, on peepoHappy, they have players who can play Nomad 2, but I don't really think it's any of their players' like specialty. So I think it's a perfectly fine pick from Chairnament. Just gonna have to see how it works out for them. That's it. On. It's 2 of SCT2 on that top row. Not gonna be any more with SCW finding the break on the very space stream there. So, Chairnament with a good opportunity. Try to make this lead insurmountable. If they can hold through for like, longer than they did. Alright, so Mackie Brody can find the break. It's even eye fingers versus Bihari. Rest of the lobby with basically no combo. Aside from Taldex with the half recovery, that's gonna be really important now that Keyz is gone. Taldex playing defense, gonna try to fend off eye fakers for long enough for him to find the break here. And the rest of peepoHappy kind of finding a lot of struggle, and including eye fakers, but Taldex will trade it. So not very big substantial combos really anywhere. Right now it's mostly Shinkiro versus Anthony W. But, I mean, many a team in this tournament have seen what happens when Anthony W is the only combo left in the lobby. And he might be able to make something happen once again. 50k of score lead to claw back. 700 combo will do that, will accomplish that in due time. Yeah, he's gaming on this for now. Getting into this very tricky solo part, we'll need to see how long this will continue. Just any amount longer, and peepoHappy should be able to take the lead back. But the rest of Anthony W's team is kind of not offering much assistance here. Really slowing down that score lead going to the right until it was really too late because Anthony no longer has a combo. Yeah, meanwhile Chairnament have not much, but better than what peepoHappy are right now. So very... They find a lot of chain bases they probably could go over, but as of right now, Chairnament looking pretty good. Shikiro gonna find chain base, and actually, they were not out of the woods at all, apparently. More chain bases, one out of Nijaki. Okay, and that is peepoHappy very, very narrowly taking that point. Yeah, Chairnament found a lot of chain misses at the end there. That actually, it looked very good for them. Looked like they were out of the woods, but it's just not gonna be the case. If peepoHappy gonna steal it right out of their hands. So yeah, Chairnament put in a somewhat rough spot in terms of the whole match now, when you consider that it's also peepoHappy's pick now, as well as a 1-3 deficit that they're facing up against. Wouldn't be surprised to see like a free mod 2 maybe out of peepoHappy. They have pretty good gimmick players. Actually, I don't recall if I've seen Phelan play anything yet. So does put a big damper in their gimmick roster if Phelan is in fact not here. But yeah, if not Fremont 2 because of that, they also could do like... I was gonna say they could pick speed, but that is actually the only pick they've lost so far is speed. But it seems like they don't really care. They're gonna go for DT3. I mean, this map is... You need good tapping, but I would hesitate to really call it a speed map. Because the raw tapping requirement is not really high. It's more finger control. And yeah, it's a map that peepoHappy performed really well on their last match. All of their players put up at least 500k, and Anthony W actually FC'd this, despite not being a tapping main. So, definitely a pick that peepoHappy could perform pretty well on, and Tomato Chairnament did not have nearly as good of a run on this. So it's a very solid pick for peepoHappy, I feel. So yeah, for peepoHappy, we should be getting Daniel and Miuo in. Or, sorry, I mean Tendo Alice. Blue Archive enjoyer over there. But... did they have Tatse play this last time? I actually do not remember. No, they had Phelan play this last time. So Tatse is gonna be subbing in, so probably not peepoHappy's ideal roster, but still have very good chances. On side of Tomato Chairnament, I would say Mackie Brony's like a tapping main. Did okay on the last Nomad too, but I don't know him super well, but I don't think this is really his kind of speed map. Needs a very particular flavor of speed. You need to be very good at reading like the rhythms. That's kind of a lot of the difficulty of the map. So yeah, like for example, no eye fakers, even though he's like a speed player, but yeah, you just see how the like skill set of the map kind of changes the rosters in kind of unexpected ways. Alright, but enough talk. Let's get into the action. You all gonna fight a very early break. Seems that really no one's comfortable with this, judging on accuracy. Yeah, the accuracies are very, very questionable across the board. Probably the best ones we're looking at right now would be Talbot and Anthony W, though both of those players are also holding in SCs. Tatse gonna fight break. A lot of the players had stabilized up to that point, but Miuo and Tatse breaking. Gonna bring the favor back over to Tomato Chairnament, so Mackie Brony, and it's gonna be hard fighting breaks as well. Yeah, right now it's just both teams having two big combos that are pretty comparable. So whoever bites first, whoever gives an inch first is gonna be looking very bad. But through the intense finger control, Talduck Shinkiro, Daniel Anthony W, those are the names to look out for. Miuo seeming a little bit unhappy about the performance so far. Pretty understandable, but it happens. Just gotta try to let the team do the work here. peepoHappy still with pretty good chances here. They still got the score lead, they still got the combo lead. Albeit very narrow. Yeah, everything will come down to the next finger control part after this slightly free part here. Oh, Shinkiro! That is absolutely not what the Tomato Chairnament needed. Yeah, Shinkiro finding a break before the hard part. And peepoHappy have the chance to push this advantage really far here. Daniel and Anthony W still holding the really big combos. That being said, Mihari has something to try to slow down their advance, but Not anymore, and peepoHappy is still looking really rock solid right now in terms of the really big combos. I mean, shout out to Taldex as well. Not a tapping main by any means, but still doing really solidly on this pick. Actually having the highest accuracy compared to Daniel and Anthony, but it's just not enough. Especially with Taldex missing right there, and Daniel now the only combo in the lobby. Daniel finding a lot of shake towards the end, as he tends to do very often. But won't matter. Pulls the combo into the end, secures the point, and now peepoHappy are up 4-1. Good stuff to them. But yeah, it is actually Taldex to have the high score in the lobby because of the really good accuracy, or really good relative to the rest of the lobby at least, but it's just not enough. Yep, Tomato Chairnament now even deeper in the hole, 3 points down, but still a lot of time left in this match potentially for them to make something happen, so don't count them out yet. They can try to get something started here with their pick here. I'm thinking if they want to change up the pace, what they could do is they could go for one of like the alt-D maps. I mean, you can look on that entire right side of that map pool screen, like Nomad 3, Nomad 6, Hidden 3, Hard Rock 3. Those are maps that they can probably do well on, but also maps where Anthony W is a very big threat as well. So, some pros and cons to it. Could go for the raw aim angle as well. I mean, they did lose their one aim map they picked earlier, but the other two aim maps left are pretty different. A lot higher BPM. Could go a lot differently. But instead they're gonna go for DT4. Boy, that's a bit of a surprising one to me because I suppose it could be a good pick if Tomato Chairnament have a good roster for it. They don't get like 4th player issued or anything. But seems kind of risky because last time this got played in peepoHappy's match, Anthony actually FC'd it. And this is also probably on the harder side of this pool. So kind of playing with fire here because they're playing something that peepoHappy could perform really well on. But yeah, I'm not opposed to it because the song's a banger. So.
Dirty pop, baby, you can't stop. I know you like this. Dirty pop. Now, why you wanna try to classify the type of thing we do? We're just fine doing what we like, and we say the same for you.
Yeah, what this map is all about is it's all about the high AR reading combined with some pretty nasty aim control. You have the kind of, and then you have a kind of map that not too many people are comfortable with. Actually having a lot of like pretty big. Okay. I'm gonna pray that the stream is not gonna die again. I love internet here. But yeah, actually Tomato Chairnament, I won that. And as much as I talked up Anthony FCing last time, he did not FC this time. So, I mean, Tomato Chairnament very well capitalized on that. So it was a good pick, apparently.
Sick and tired of hearing all these people talk about what's the deal with this pop life and when is it gonna fade out? The thing you got to realize.
Yeah. peepoHappy have won a bunch of. Well, they won one speed map, they lost one speed map. But I think peepoHappy probably feel good about their speed roster compared to tomato tournaments. So I think we could see like a free mod 3 maybe. Yeah, shame we didn't get to see. Oh, okay, there it is. Finally, I'm correct about predicting something. That rarely happens, so I need to take my dubs. Yeah, shame we didn't get to see the DT4 being played. Shinkiro had a pretty good score, which I wasn't really expecting. But yeah, instead we'll get to watch extremely generic speed map number 120. Because that's basically what this is. And so you just look at the map and you can tell, oh, this was custom map for a tournament to have like no aim so the speed players wouldn't get mad. Admittedly, I am one of said speed players. Yeah, I'm gonna have pretty standard rosters on both sides for speed sort of map. I'm a little bit curious of where Stacia is. Because I would think maybe Stacia would play this over like maybe like Anthony W. I mean, Anthony's been playing fine on tapping actually, so maybe Stacia doesn't need to come in, but good luck, have fun. Smart coming out. Yeah, in terms of mods, I guess we'll see right now what's going on. Okay, we're not gonna see if Anthony and Vihari don't load in. Pretty balanced mods, all things considered. Tomato Chairnament kind of opting into more hidden. peepoHappy a bit more balanced to hidden to hard rock. Yeah, Miwo changing stuff up. He went hidden last time. Let's just say you did not go very well. You're looking like the hard rock's not going too well either right now. In terms of act, we have not seen exactly the greatest acts from these players on the speed maps. The one doing the best is Daniel right now. That's definitely something you want to see if you're on peepoHappy's side, because he is the guy who carried this map last time they played it. So we're looking to try to do the same thing once again. He's been playing pretty well on these speed maps, so wouldn't count him out of getting a good score even despite all this shake. But 2 FCs to 2 still, and things are not too secure for peepoHappy at the moment. Yeah, top row was doing really well until Tallest by the break right there. But it's straight by eye fakers, so it's gonna be Huster not to face off against Daniel. Just the tiniest bit of supporting combo favor for Tomato Chairnament, especially with eye fakers breaking there. Yeah, oh, eye fakers, Becky Brody trading. Yeah, Hard Rock's really not having a good time on this one. And the lead is just gonna be deadlocked until we see some big breaks out of the hiddens, like one out of Keyz or not. That like decided the map right here. Things going very rapidly in peepoHappy's favor for now, especially with the Daniel FC. He's shaking out of his mind, but he's still FCing. Oh my god, I am getting anxiety just watching. Holy shit. But despite that, gonna close out the FC? He will. Wow. Not exactly, like, the best act he could have gotten, but still. Cannot complain about an FC when the nearest anyone else got was a 600k. So Daniel putting in the work, showing why he was worth to draft. He was drafted actually very late. I think he was like a 7th pick, 8th pick, but really proven his worth in this match. He's kind of carried a lot of these speed picks, and that is what he's here to do. Alright, very quick pick coming out from Tomato Chairnament. Gonna go for hidden 1. Finally gonna return to the raw aim. Yeah, this map, like a lot of maps in these pools, a very well-known one, Mops Last Surprise. So this map is basically, it's just raw aim at relatively high BPM. I mean, it says 123. It's basically 240 BPM jumps. So yeah, with such a high BPM, the spacing is it's still pretty decent actually, but it's not as high as it could be for a typical aim map. So it's a little bit of a different skill set. Players I'd be looking out for would be like, I think Chairnament could do really well on this. I mean, he's definitely like a hidden aim main. This is like probably his best slot in any given pool. Especially at higher BPMs, he can do pretty well. And meanwhile on peepoHappy, I don't know what they're cooking with their rosters or like what the hell Phalon's doing, but Phalon would usually be their resident hidden player, but for whatever reason he's not playing, so they're gonna have eye fakers in. And Nijaki, so not exactly the most comfortable hidden players. So Tomato Chairnament maybe sensing the weakness here and trying to exploit it. Okay, Orchid is probably gonna ask for an abort here, if that's not just the client dying. Okay, I'm assuming that's an abort. Alright. He forgot to change skin. Are you allowed to get an abort for that? I mean, I guess you are. Alright, well, whatever. I think strictly speaking, you're not supposed to get an abort for stuff like that. But, alright, well, it is what it is. Okay, but alright. Just a flip on the radar. Probably we're gonna forget all about this in a few minutes. What we will remember is who wins this map here. Yeah, Tomato Chairnament kind of on the ropes right now. Round 2 to 5. Gonna try to get some momentum back here on this here hidden 1. Very good start for them with eye fakers missing here. But I would say for sure that eye fakers is kind of a filth in this, so maybe not too influential. I mean, Keyz actually, for all I talked about, does find the early break. But it's just 1 break to 1 right now. Now 1 to 2 with the Tansei breaking, but Keyz also trading it. But in terms of that combo, it's basically even. So no one gonna be able to take too much advantage of this slower part before the first KI. Jumps? No one getting caught off guard actually. But you're gonna see a lot more of those as we get further into this course. Orca gonna find a break out of triple, and that's gonna very substantial lead over to peepoHappy here. Ooh, Orke fighting another repeat breaks right there. So now everything is going to be on Tallux and Shigero's shoulders. The jockey will be trading. So gonna even things out, gonna control the damage for Tomato Chairnament. That lead is gonna be going nowhere once again over this filler part. So yeah, the combos are basically just dead even, player for player. So next break will disrupt the equilibrium. The jockey pick, I make her Shigero. Though that's a actually pretty even. Oh, but Keyz finds an untraded break. It's gonna be Tatsei, Anthony W try to make something happen here. All eyes on those two combos, and especially actually Tallux, who's gonna find the break right now and gonna extinguish the whole kind of first team along with the combo there. Because it's gonna be only Anthony W and Tatsei with the combos. And things are looking very doomed for Tomato Chairnament at the moment. Ooh, Anthony finds a break at the end of that pattern, but I mean, so did the entire team of Tomato Chairnament. Only one to hold through is Keyz, and I don't think his 330 combo can really do anything about the 300k score lead that's already been built up. Even if Tatsei is to find a break very briefly. Okay, he does find a break here, so Keyz not gonna do what he can to like at least make this score lead a bit less. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be the point going towards peepoHappy, especially solidifying with Keyz not finding this final break here. Yeah, huge shout out to Tatsei here. I mean, Tatsei not really known as like a hidden player, I don't think. Okay, well maybe you're seeing why on that last pattern. But not really known as a hidden player in particular, but putting a very good score on this alongside Anthony W. Yeah, Tomato Chairnament absolutely at peepoHappy's mercy right now, because peepoHappy have their own pick and trying to make it a good one that will close out this entire set here. Based on their strategy so far, they picked a lot of speed. They could just try to do DT2, that is an option, but I will say that particular map is a lot harder than the other speed maps, in my opinion. That being said, I would love to see them pick it, regardless if it's good for strategy, because I just want to hear Senya music. I love me some Toho. So, you know you want to. But if they don't want to, I mean, they have the whole world open to them. There's a lot of alt maps left, actually. Doesn't really look like either team wants to pick those. Until now. So it's gonna be Imaginary Places. Never Speed Demon being picked by peepoHappy.
You never see it coming.
I'm just here to hold your hand. I'm just here to hold your hand when you die and to show you around imaginary places. Put many lumps in my bloody stump.
So yeah, this map is very flow wave heavy, not a lot of snap alt. You could just call this like a 160 BPM no mod 2 if you really wanted to. Pretty somewhat dip spiky as well. Like there's certain patterns that are definitely really stand out from the rest.
my shirt, it is a kill dream. It is not to lead the way to the stairwell to a God's administrative office and a final farewell. Just so to hold your hand when you die. And they give you a assault rifle up and a clip. Glow in the dark, but a skull in the park. Giving everybody informative pamphlets. No sign of life for as far as I can see. Everybody just charged me to in the car seat. Each should have died in a secret spy. Cause I have the funny feeling that I'm being watched. Money for our surveillance, money or power or ailments. But it's a medical supply. City shipment in the hand when niggas waiting when you come over now. Otherwise, I'm just here to hold your hand when you die. Psych up in the cough, drop a run up on your sauce spot. Make mushroom clothes out of your garden hills. Turn into a dead gas blown to the air duct. She's not in love, but I thought that she was. She doesn't love me cause I don't have the right haircut. I misunderstood. I just fixed understood. But I will not apologize for anything that I say. My name is Mr. Bus Driver. This is the producer Paris. We did not remember to admit we were
Just waiting on Tomato Chairnament to get their last in here. I would have to imagine it should be like maybe Ork or maybe KSN. I don't know. Okay, it won't be KSN. Yeah, meanwhile, peepoHappy, I mean, by virtue of Phalon just like not playing for whatever reason, I mean, they're having to have players fill slots that they're not really great at. Like, I don't think iFigures really wants to be playing alt, but I mean, I can't really argue with the results considering they're up 6-2 regardless of the rosters they're fielding. So yeah, they've been having the upper hand on most of the maps so far. I'm gonna see if that can continue. Looking very much to be the case in the beginning with Talldox and Bihari. Both finding some issues in the very beginning of the map. iFigures will as well though. Okay. A lot of breaks actually right off the bat in this intro. A lot of repeated breaks actually, especially out of KSN and iFigures. Yeah, Bihari's act is not looking the hottest right now. But both teams do still have kind of their carry going at it. Hero and Anthony W. But the recovery is marginally better for peepoHappy with iFigures having recovered something. Right as I say that, it finds huge chain misses, but so does Nijaki Tatsi, and just like everyone. Oh, Anthony W goes down though. And meanwhile, Shinkiro is still holding. So things are actually looking pretty promising for Tomato Chairnament at this point. Kushkina also has a little bit of backing combo. Dude, Shinkiro's got that flow. He almost slider broke on that last slider. It's actually so important that he clutched it out and managed to keep the combo alive because this map, as I mentioned, has a decent amount of filler, and Shikiro is going to be the huge beneficiary of that as the only combo around, along with Talldox. It's pretty somewhat far behind, but anything helps, anything helps. Whatever KSN is doing is not helping, for Tomato Chairnament at least, but alright, having us a little bit of fun, a little bit of smoke. Alright, we got some more flowing in the house. Shinkiro nailing it, that's like what's really important here. Like if Shinkiro can keep holding for the rest of the map, then Tomato Chairnament have basically got this on lock, barring huge chain misses from the rest of the team. Yeah, I have no idea what I have no idea what KSN's doing right now. I have no idea what he's cooking, but anyway, everyone besides him has recovered some amount of combo from that slow part. Nijaki gonna go down, and things looking really, really good for Tomato Chairnament. Only thing left to see, I think, is if Shikiro can close on the FC, which he in fact cannot. Well, that was like the last pattern you could have missed on in the map as well. That's really unlucky, but still a really good score. I mean, it's still gonna be upwards of 900k. So yeah, a really good carry performance for Tomato Chairnament out of Shikiro, the Turkish player. Tate with a very inefficient spin right there. Okay, obviously it didn't matter. It's just funny to look at. But anyway, that is actually a break point taken from Tomato Chairnament. So might be showing more signs of life than you might expect. Yep, it's gonna be Tomato Chairnament's turn to pick. There's a lot of alt map left in the pool. They could go for some sort of AV map as well, like no mod 1, free mod 1. But actually where they got most of their points so far is from alt maps. So I think I could see like a Hidden 3, a Hard Rock 3. By my shirt, it is a kill dream. It is not a lead away to the stairwell to a God's administrative office and a final farewell. I'm just gonna hold your hand when you die and give you a assault rifle up banana clip. Glow in the dark, but a skull in the park. Giving everybody informative pamphlets. No son of light for as far as I can see. Everybody's just charged beat up in the car seat. Each shouldn't die to the secret spy. Cause I have the funny feeling that I'm being. I mean, those are not. Okay, yeah. I was about to say they're not exactly like pure alt maps, but it's mostly alt. Oh, no double. Oh, that is unlucky. That is very unlucky. So, okay, they can't pick Hidden 3. I think they could go Hard Rock 3. That would... I think it'd be a decent pick. Yeah, I don't know, like everything left is kind of coin flip at this point. Oh, they will actually go free mod 2 though. And this is where they might be able to make peepoHappy pay for having Phelan being like perma-benched for some reason. I mean, Phelan was peepoHappy's first pick and he's been very conspicuously absent from this match. And peepoHappy kind of need him to play like hidden or maybe even like easy. But if he's gone, then he can't do that. And peepoHappy will have a hole in their roster that Tomato Chairnament can try to exploit. I think it's pretty possible that Daniel might go easy though. He is an easy player, and finally we have Phelan in the lobby, at long last. Yeah, in terms of mods, definitely Suzuka Hard Rock. I don't really know when the rest of Tomato Chairnament go though. Probably like Orke Hidden. I mean, a lot of the Tomato Chairnament players are like kind of all-rounders. I could see them taking either mod, especially like Combox. Meanwhile, peepoHappy will definitely be a iFaker's Hard Rock. And then I don't know what the remaining members might cook with. I think we could definitely see some easy. And then of course there still needs to be hidden somewhere in there. But yeah, this map doesn't really need much introduction. It is Astro Sexy, a very old map, but yeah, the map holds up. Mapping holds up pretty decently by modern standards, at least compared to most old maps. It has a lot of like weird flow aim that can be pretty oh my god. Oh my god. Tall Duck's easy? Really? Okay. Phelan easy. Probably Daniel easy and like Anthony hidden. Okay, both teams are cooking right now. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. This kind of grid mapping and high CS makes it pretty favorable to Easy. So do keep in mind when you look at the scores that Easy has a what is it? A 1.75 times multiplier. So the Easy scores are a lot more influential than they look. So yeah, overall, since peepoHappy have more easy players, the multipliers in general are gonna favor peepoHappy, especially with Faylon holding the FC for now. But not to count out the rest of their team, iFigure is also doing pretty decently, also holding the FC. Oh my god, that is a three-way break for Tomato Chairnament. Things looking not very good for their side, especially iFigures and Faylon holding combos. Okay, iFigures can find the break, but Faylon still going at it. I mean, first map he's played, but he might be the one carry on the one map, and that's all you need. All they need to go to the match here is this one more point. It's looking extremely likely right now. That being said, it is a very long map, so a lot of time for, if there's gonna be meltdown for peepoHappy, a lot of time for that to happen, but not looking too likely. They look like very confident, especially on the easy players. Oh my, another three-way break from Tomato Chairnament. Things just looking down, down, and down for Tomato Chairnament. Meanwhile, Daniel and Faylon. I mean, there's only so long I can say this. Surely, both still holding. Well, Daniel's not FCing, but Faylon is FCing. Daniel is near FCing. Very, very solid performances from them. They really have done their homework in figuring out how to play this map easy. I guess Daniel not anymore, but Faylon's still going at it. Getting the flow aim, the grid snapping, no problem at all. Hidden players on this map kind of suffering. I can't really blame them. This map on just hidden only is just kind of atrocious. Yeah, they're gonna see the scores here. They're probably gonna know it is just about over. You haven't seen GG out of San Francisco. I'm interested to see now if they win NFC or not. Cause I mean, he's held through 3 minutes of this bogus. So see if he can get through the ha-ha-has. Yeah, he is the. Oh! Okay, I can't really blame him for missing on that. That is a cross-screen horizontal triple. It do be like that sometimes. But yeah, still a really good score out of Faylon. If you apply multiplier, he has the highest score in the lobby by far. Probably it's somewhere around like 500k right now. So yeah. Both teams getting to have a little bit of fun to end things out, but it will be the end of Tomato Chairnament's run in this tournament, sadly. Still made a pretty admirable run in this tournament. They came back all the way from losers around 16. Making it all the way to 4th place. Pretty respectable. But it will be peepoHappy coming out on top. As this map very slowly comes to a close. It is over 5 minutes. It's longer than one of the tiebreakers, actually. So. And Daniel recovering some combo at the end as well. also putting up a pretty decent score on easy. Somehow manages to shake, even when the match is like fully determined. He has the debuff. He just starts shaking no matter what in the last 15% of any map. But yeah, not gonna matter. Because it is gonna be peepoHappy. Gonna take that 7th point, that crucial 7th point. Gonna be the ones taking the match with it. Yeah, congratulations to peepoHappy. We'll be seeing them next weekend in the Grand Finals.
Check it out.
Win screen up. Quiet, deciding to be very slow. There we have it. Yeah, I mean the teams and winners better watch up. peepoHappy put up some very good scores. It'll be scary for the whoever has to face them next. And speaking of winners bracket match is gonna happen shortly. It will be Ducksall, the Korean team, versus ADS plus Poland in the winners bracket very shortly, in just about half an hour. So of course that will be streamed, and I guess if you're sick of me talking, we'll also have Chip commentating for the next one. Get the commentary booth to be a bit more lively. So looking forward to that. So hopefully we'll see you around then. Until then, have a nice day.